Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 36 of the San Marino Challenge. Now, today's episode is going to be against Chievo. Now, Chievo, as you can see, we'll go into the league table here, just so I can show you in a bit more detail. They're currently in the relegation zone. They're in 18th position. You know, I sort of expected us to be down there this season. However, we're still, towards the top of the table. We're currently sitting 5th. Which is essentially tied 4th with Lazio, who are just above us. We were 3rd in the previous episode, so we have actually versed some of these stronger teams above us recently, which sort of makes sense as to why we've dropped a few points and why we sort of find ourselves where we are at the moment. I mean, it's worth noting that 4th is, of course, the Champions League spot, the final Champions League spot. And, of course, 5th to 7th, depending on the winner of the TIM Cup, gets the Europa League spots. So, honestly, we're still in with a pretty good chance of actually making European football next season. Albeit, might be in the Europa League, but the Champions League, it's still there to be won. And I think we have a pretty easy run of fixtures, well, to an extent. As you can see, recently, we've versed both Milan teams. We've versed Lazio, Juventus. The only other team sort of that is competitive at the moment is Roma, who are currently 3rd above us. And that's an away game as well. So that's going to be tough. The next, 5 or 6 games are all pretty winnable games, in my opinion. Today's going to be a little bit hard, though, because, as you can see, we've got a couple of players out. We've got Monteperto out with an injury. And then we also have Toscano and Saki suspended due to last game. But yeah, let's go over the recent fixtures. Of course, the previous episode was the 3-2 victory over Napoli. Really suggest going and checking that one out. I mean, I kind of just ruined it if you hadn't seen it. But yeah, Saki scored a 92nd minute winner. And yeah, it was a bit of a headphone warning on that one. We followed that up with a pretty disappointing 1-1 draw against Spal. And it was at home as well, which kind of made it a little bit worse. As you can see, Conforti with our goal there in the 15th minute. Then they got an equaliser just after half-time. And yeah, we didn't really perform too well on the attacking front. The defence wasn't too bad, as you can see, except for Scarby, who got a 6.6, and I believe he was at fault for their goal. Now, the next game, I mean, it went from bad to worse, basically. A 3-0 away loss to Sassuolo. Honestly, I have no idea what happened in this game. We literally just fell apart. I brought Mayembo in to give Pesci, I think he was either suspended or I had to give him a rest. So I changed him. Mayembo got a 6.2. Scarby got a 6.3. Both centre-backs were dreadful. And yeah, they scored 3 goals and absolutely smashed us. I actually went aggressive at the boys after that game in the team talk. And I mean, it worked. It definitely worked with a 2-0 victory in the next game over Juventus. Forte and Conforti, both on the score sheet there. Really good game from Forte. He actually got a 9.1 Man of the Match award. So yeah, very, very impressive victory. Juventus, they're not doing too well. Conti was their manager, but he just got sacked before the last game. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Juventus have obviously a very, very good squad and some very good players. I mean, as you can see, they've got some decent players out on loan as well. Like, just looking at this guy, I would love to try and get this guy in next season on loan because he is world class. Well, he will be. He's only 19 years old, but that guy is really, really good. They only paid 1.7 million for him, which is just mind-boggling. Anyways, I'm going to try and get him on loan. Maybe with a future fee, if we can afford it. We'll see how we go. But anyway, so we followed that up with another 1-0 victory, or another victory, I should say. This time over Fiorentina. Saki with the only goal of the game. And they also had a player sent off in the 23rd minute. So while it was 1-0, it was a pretty convincing victory in the end. They never really, troubled us too much. The next game was against Inter, away from home. Now, this game had it all. It really had it all. As you can see, We went 2-0 up through Bocchini and Conforti, and then a minute after our second goal, Icardi got on the score sheet. He then proceeded to score another 2 goals, with the third goal coming in the 88th minute to steal the victory away from us, to steal the point away from us. It did look like a draw. Actually, I think I want to show you the goal because I'm pretty sure Ingvarsson was at fault for it. He also missed a penalty early on, but this goal and what Ingvarsson did here, it really, it was a keyboard smashing moment for sure. Just really, really poor from not only from Ingvarsson, but just the defense in general. Obviously, it was a counter-attack by them. I mean, it looked like a highlight for us. And then, they put in a really good tackle in the box. Torvin breaks away. I mean, it kind of looked wasted there. And then this happened. Yeah. Ingvarsson comes out. And Icardi just, I don't know, slide tackles the ball through his legs. Almost comical. A very comical goal there. We did bounce back in the next game, however, against AC Milan, who are top of the league, and they were top of the league at this point in time. And we managed to beat them 1-0 at home through a Riccardo Forte goal. He also, technically, he missed the penalty and then got his own rebound, and that's how he scored. But he also missed the penalty in the lead up to his goal, I guess. Oops, I did not mean to do that. We have one more game to go over, which was a really, really disappointing 2-0 loss to Lazio. As you can see, we were 1-0 down. Toscano gets sent off with a straight red card. Saki then gets sent off with 2 yellow cards. We're down to 9 men. Monteperto, of course, picked up that injury as well. And, then they got a second goal. Really disappointing stuff. Of course, Lazio are the team in the league table, if I show you here. They are the team above us. So, that loss to them was a kind of, brutal sort of 6-pointer game where if we won the game, we would be quite a few points clear. And, the draw would have been nice, but 2 of my players decided to get their red cards. I fined both of them for 2 weeks, which is more than deserved because, of course, they cost us the game, really. I mean, if both of them didn't get sent off, I think at the very least we probably could have equalised and, drawn the game out. Anyway, Chievo are our opponents today. I mean, it's going to be a pretty tough game, of course. We're missing, some starters. And, of course, Foliados hasn't really scored too many goals. He's literally scored 1 goal all season. So, he really, I don't know, he just hasn't done well. His finishing's only 10. I mean, he looks like a really good player. He does. Especially like a deep-lying forward. It's just that finishing. It just prevents him from scoring goals. Anyway, today's lineup is going to be Ingvarsson in goals. I also, I criticised his training level because all of his stats were going down. They were all decreasing. And he didn't like that too much, so now he's unhappy with me. Which is, it's happened before. It'll probably happen again. Anyway, so he'll start in goals. Conforti will be the right back. Pesci and Scarby, the 2 centre-backs. Gil, who I've been pretty impressed with, actually. He's been pretty solid. He's only, 19 years old? 17. Wow. I thought he was 19 for some reason. So he's really impressed me this season. And he's sort of found that left-back role to be his now. He'll start at left-back. Unfortunately, the loanee Novi, Paolo Novi, will start in his defensive midfield role. The right winger today is going to be Bocchini. Forte will be on the left wing. Ambro comes back in to replace Saki. And then we're going to go with Ribeiro as well. Ribeiro, probably one of the best loan signings we've made, in my opinion. Like I said in the previous episode, I'd love to try and sign him on a permanent basis next season. And then up front, as I mentioned, Foliados really needs some goals. I have actually warned him about his recent form, so hopefully it might turn around today. In goals, on the bench, we're going to go Pavoni, and then the other outfield players are going to be Stefano Leo, who I want to show you guys because he's developing really, really nicely in the under-20s. Of course, he did play 1 game in the TIM Cup. Did really well, 7.3 average rating there. And yeah, he looks good. He's only 18, and I think he's got a lot of room to grow. The other thing I want to show you after this game is the 2 youth prospects we got in, both San Marinese nationality, and they're both centre backs, and they're really good. And I'm it's kind of the start of us beginning to develop players. Of course, we've had other players in the past, Serie D, Serie C. We couldn't really develop them because we couldn't have enough coaches to, make an actual indent on their development. But I have a full coaching staff now. It's how it should be for a Serie A team. Anyways, the other players on the bench are Ermacora, Gianchecchi, Tomasello, Falbo, Krasniki, Antonio, Chester, Miembo, Cesar, and we'll get rid of Saki off the bench there as well. Okay, let's go. Come on, boys. We need a big win here. Losing to Lazio in the previous game, it was just, I don't know, it was just disappointing more than anything. To, not even really compete because of the red cards. It just, I don't know, it just puts a big damper on. It almost seems like a wasted game, in a sense. Anyway, we should be beating a team like Chievo, one of the relegation candidates. And Bashini almost has a golden opportunity there straight away. Only a few minutes into the start of the game. Conforti with a throw. Foliados plays a bit of a poor ball behind Bashini, but Ribeiro's on it now. Ambro. Novi. Ambro again. Good ball movement here. Can we do something with it? Ribeiro shoots, and he hits the post. It was a bit of a rocket as well, to be fair. Foliados with the corner. Nice and short. I feel like a lot of players are blocking these short corners now. See what I mean? Like, it's... I feel like it's the recent tactic... That's not tactic. The recent FM19 update, the winter update, has obviously changed how things are a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, so moving the ball forward. Pesci, Scarby. I mean, we're playing pretty dangerously. The fullbacks have really pushed up there. Ribeiro. Forte gets on the end of it. Ribeiro again. Can he shoot? Hits the... Oh, man, he hits the bar, the crossbar. I thought he hit the post again. It was another rocket. We haven't actually hit the target yet, which is kind of worrying, in a sense. The fact that we haven't had a shot on target, and we're, 25 minutes in? And Ribeiro's picked up an injury. Lovely. Okay. I'm just going to pause it there for a second. What am I doing? Conforti. We need to ease him off the tackles before we do anything else. And then we have to bring... Oh, this is a tough one, actually. We'll go with Tomasello. Or Tomasello. If I can pronounce his name properly. Hasn't really played too much, and I think his contract is actually running out. Ambro shoots just wide. Again, not on target. Yeah, but Tomasello, he was brought in, just as a youth prospect back in Serie C. And, yeah, he's never really played. He's not that great. But maybe he'll do something here for us today. Possibly before he leaves the club at the end of the season. And that's honestly not a great first half. I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Just doesn't seem like our players are, putting a lot of pressure on their defense, to be honest. And their goalkeeper as well. We're just having these silly long shots that are going wide. I mean, we have hit the crossbar and the post as well. It's worth noting, but we just don't look as dangerous as we normally do, that's for sure. But we do have the ball here. Gil, Tomasello. Nice little ball out to Bashini from Ambro. Tomasiello again. Forte, again, just wide. Just wide. Foliados has picked up a yellow card here as well. Don't want any more red cards. That's one thing I really wasn't happy with last game. You know, albeit Toscano got sent off with a straight red, but for Saki to get sent off as well for 2 yellows when I eased him off as well, super frustrating. Who are we going to bring off? Conforti's going to come off, and we're going to bring Antonio on. Carlos Antonio. Yeah, I think we'll just do that for now. Hopefully we'll actually tell Antonio to tackle harder. Because, you know, why would we have him ease off when he's not on the yellow? Doesn't really make too much sense. And then we have Pesci pick up a yellow card as well. Brilliant. Come on, boys, let's do something. Let's push forward. I've had enough. I want to get the goal. Novi picks up a yellow card as well. Lovely. We'll let this highlight play out. Ambrose on a yellow. I didn't even notice that one either. And they have the ball, so... Oh, Carlos Antonio does manage to steal it. Puts in a nice little cross. Well, was it a nice cross? I don't think it was, actually. That was kind of a disappointing cross, if I'm honest. Forte. Still Forte. Plays it through his legs. Shoots and he scores. Get in. Thank you, Forte. I mean, signing this guy... I mean, what he's done for the club. I mean, his first season, I don't even think he really played that much. But he definitely developed quite well. I mean, we'll just leave the players that are on yellow cards. Forte's actually picked up a suspension from that yellow card as well. It's his 10th of the season. But yeah, I think we're pretty lucky to get the win there. We only had 4 shots on target for the whole game, which I think is... it's pretty bad. Conforti with a 50% pass completion rate. Yeah, that's really low. I mean, we'll tell the boys well done, but honestly, that was not a very good performance at all. And Gil managed to pick up the Man of the Match award. Luckily, Ribeiro is only out for 2 days. That was Tomasiello's debut. As you can see, he's pretty bad. He's got a little bit of potential, though. I mean... Oh, he's actually at the club. Maybe I gave him another contract. I think I did, actually. Yeah, I might have given him another contract just recently. I can't exactly remember, but... And yeah, as you can see, there's a fair bit of interest in Ingvarsen again. Watford and West Brom both interested in him. And of course, you know, his recent spat with me probably not going to do me any favours, so... Yeah, so here we go. These are the 2 players that we got in during this youth intake. The first of which was Ugolini. As you can see, 3.5 star potential. Just San Marinese. And I mean, if you look at him, he does look pretty good. 13 marking, really good mentals, apart from his positioning, which is dreadful. That's the only real letdown for him, is that 4 positioning. And that could be, you know, a bit of a killer in terms of his international career. But yeah, so he's right-footed, and the other centre-back, Vicini, is a left-footed centre-back. And I actually rate this guy better, but the scouts or the coaches, apparently they think he's only a 3-star potential, which sucks a little bit. But as you can see, 12 positioning, 11 heading, 10 marking, and 11 tackling. Pretty good physicals as well. 9 jumping, 9 strength, and some decent pace on him. And obviously 19 determination. It's really going to help him out as well in terms of his growth. As you can see, purely San Marinese as well, so no second Italian nationality on him. And honestly, another thing I should mention is Biordi from last season's intake actually got capped for San Marino, as you can see. He's got 2 caps now. I mean, he's doing pretty well. He's also 3.5 star potential. I'm not too sure about him because, in theory, he probably looks better than the other guy. What's his name? Ugolini. that positioning. Every time I look at the forward positioning, it really just like breaks my heart. But yeah, not too bad. We got Fischetto as well, who is only Italian, I believe. So he's not bad either. Kind of sucks that he's not San Marinese, because he probably would be starting in the national team with those stats. So yeah, that sucks a little bit, but that's sort of the youth intake and some of the youth players from last season as well. They're going pretty well. Things are going better. If I show you the club, and we're going to the facilities, I believe I did get an upgrade to junior coaching and to our youth recruitment as well. So those have gone up a little bit. Obviously, we need to update the youth facilities. They're below average at the moment. And then, of course, the training facilities as well. I haven't done it yet, purely for the fact that I want to wait wait until next season with our finances. Once we sort of have over the 20 million mark, I feel like then we can start spending some money. I want to make sure that we're sound financially before I start upgrading and before the costs sort of rack up a little bit. And of course, we have to strengthen the squad as well. So there are a few things that we need to spend some money on. But it's in terms of the team, we're doing really well. We're back up into third. I guess Napoli drew their game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. That Roma game is going to be very, very interesting. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. Because that could be the Champions League qualifying game, for us in terms of the league position. So yeah, looking forward to it. Of course, the next episode will be the Salernitana. And we'll do a bit of an end of season review there as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you could drop a like on the video, that'd be much appreciated. And apart from that, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.